Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Titan Sports. I'm Francisco Molina.
Hey everyone, I'm Colin Costigan.
How's it going? I'm Noah Scovio.
And I'm Justin Rosette. We're here to get the ball rolling to provide you with your weekly sports updates. Welcome to Titan Sports. Rory McIlroy resigned from his role as a player director on the PGA Tour Policy Board. McIlroy served on the board for 2 years until he made the announcement earlier this week. McIlroy cited personal and professional commitments in his decision to leave the board. He has been a critic of the Saudi Arabia-backed LIV Golf Tour, and the PGA recently announced an agreement with Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund and the DP World Tour. An ongoing investigation is taking place only half an hour from Fullerton. Claims that an Oklahoma City Thunder guard had an inappropriate relationship with an underage girl are being investigated by the Newport Beach Police Department. This past Wednesday, the Newport Beach PD confirmed that an open investigation is underway for Oklahoma City Thunder guard Josh Giddey of having an improper relationship with an underage girl. Giddey, the Thunder's first-round pick in 2021, who was also named to the All-Rookie second team that year, has his career in a balance beam at the moment. The NBA spokesman Michael Bass said that the league is also investigating the situation. While the Mexican player is currently the subject of very serious allegations of domestic violence, the boys in blue have been enjoying themselves on the pitch lately. The Dodgers are well focused on their series against the San Francisco Giants. The Southern California versus Bay Area Classic rivalry started yesterday and will continue later today, with the first pitch being thrown at 7:10 p.m. The Los Angeles Clippers made a blockbuster trade earlier this week to acquire James Harden from the Philadelphia 76ers. The 76ers traded James Harden, PJ Tucker, and Philip Petrusev to the Clippers for Robert Covington, Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum, Kenyon Martin Jr., a 2028 unprotected first-round pick, 2 second-round picks, a 2029 pick swap, and an additional first-round pick from the Oklahoma City Thunder. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reported that the two sides began talks again over this past weekend to get the star guard to Los Angeles. Harden had been sitting out after the team decided they were going to move forward without him in the lineup. Harden and Sixers president Daryl Morey had a tumultuous offseason that would eventually lead to him being traded to the Clippers. Yeah, I think when you look at the Clippers, like we said, they've had Paul George and Kawhi for 3-4 years now, and when Kawhi and Paul George came to LA, it was like, LA is our city now, like we're taking over, and they could have, but like they haven't done it yet.
Right.
And so I think anytime a team makes a trade for like the superstar guy that they think that's our guy, I think, and this, at least now, I think they won this trade, because when you look at the Bucks, they go get Dame. That's who they felt they needed to get over the hump. And I think that Harden is who the Clippers thought that they needed. Even though they're already a good team, they've looked good this season. They looked at Harden and they said, this guy's a MVP, 7-time All-NBA, 3-time scoring champ. Obviously, he's not that anymore, but he's still a very good player. He's a better passer now than he was before. And so they looked at Harden and they're like, that's our guy. He's going to get us over the hump. And so I think anytime you're willing to trade a lot for a guy, I think in that sense they won the trade because they got who they wanted. But will it actually work out in the end? Will they have won the trade? I guess we'll see. But I think it definitely adds some interest to the Western Conference and makes the LA rivalry more interesting this year.
Let's go on with your Lakers. How do you feel about them? They're 6-6 right now.
Yeah.
How do you feel about who they are so far in the season?
I think our record, like people say, your record doesn't lie. Like you are what your record says you are. I think we're 6-6. I think we're kind of average right now. But through 12 games last year, we were 2-10. So much better, much more of an improvement from last year. But I think it's just kind of frustrating as Lakers fans seeing us. Anthony Davis will have a game with 30 and 20, and then he'll go out like he did on Wednesday night against Sabonis and score 9 points. It's like, I think what LeBron is doing at age 39, he put up a triple-double the other night on a back-to-back. It's really crazy to see. It's never been done before. People talk about not being able to beat Father Time is like, LeBron's definitely pushing the boundaries of that. But overall, I think that game specifically, we put up 22 threes, a franchise record against the Grizzlies. You look at the shooting, Cam Reddish was 3 for 5 from 3, D'Lo 6 for 8, LeBron 3 for 6, Taurean Prince 2 for 5, Rui Hachimura 3 for 3, and Austin Reeves 4 for 4. That's like insane shooting, which obviously isn't going to keep up, but I think it shows the Lakers' potential. And if we are able to shoot at even a decent rate, which we haven't been, but that shows us right there, Lakers are a dangerous team if we're making our threes. So overall, I think the season's still getting started, and we are a team that usually starts slow in games and in the season overall. But I think this game showed what our potential can be when it comes to shooting, and so I'm looking forward to see. We have an in-season tournament game tonight and a couple other games, so I'm looking forward to see what we do with that. Yeah, I think just like you said, an unfortunate situation. I think it was obviously really random. It happened like 3 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning. So waking up in the morning and seeing that news was just like, whoa, like, it's something that obviously we don't know these NBA players, but I feel like someone from like Josh Giddey, who seems like a likable person, you wouldn't expect that. But I think overall, I think like you guys said, it's good that the NBA isn't jumping to any conclusions or like, making him not play right away. But I also think it's potentially, very dangerous. Like imagine being these are serious allegations, of having relations with an underage girl. Like she's alleged to be 15, 16 years old, and he's 21. So very dangerous. But I'm looking at it from the eyes of one of his teammates. Like imagine being in the Thunder locker room, and you're still, being in the same locker room and playing with this guy who could possibly be, So it's kind of like from that perspective, and also like kind of putting him at danger as well, because you don't know if like one of these fans from the opposing stands is gonna run on the court or like pose a threat to him or the other Thunder players. So I think overall it's very dangerous. I think right now they're doing a good job of keeping it under wraps because he's not said anything. The Thunder haven't said anything. So I think it is dangerous to have him playing, and I'm not so sure if he still should be. But I think, like you said, it's at least good that they're not doing anything until they find out all the information, and then they'll be able to proceed from there. Yeah, I think this is a good morale win for the Cowboys. After getting embarrassed by the 49ers like they did, going against, like you said, the Chargers aren't the best defensively, but still a pretty good Chargers team. They really needed this win, and the fact that they were able to seal that win on defense without having Diggs there, I think was big for them. But I think the Cowboys are sitting in a good spot right now because they're 4-2. They're one game now behind the Eagles. So if the Eagles were to slip up next week again, which they have the tendency to do, and the Cowboys get a win, they'll be tied for first place. So they still have a lot of time, and they're only one game behind. And their next two games, I think, are going to tell us a lot. They play the Rams, who are they're 3-3. They're a pretty good team though, and they play the Eagles on the road after that. So that Eagles game will kind of be the test, because if the Cowboys win against the Rams, that Eagles game will be for first place in the division. So that'll tell us if they're ready to take that next step or if they're still going to be that inconsistent team.
Yeah, no.
I think the Chargers are just in a tough spot right now. I think they're one of those teams that for the last 3 years, you've looked at them and you've said, this is the year they're going to take off. And year after year, it hasn't happened. They're sitting at 2-3 right now, and they're playing the Chiefs this upcoming week. So it's an expected loss. So they could be sitting at 2-4 in the same division as the Chiefs. And it's like, what's really going wrong? They have the guys, like they have Khalil Mack on defense. They have Derwin James. They have Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen. Like they have the names. It's just kind of like, what continues to go wrong? I feel like something drastic kind of has to happen, whether that be the coach getting fired, which I think should have happened after you blew a 27-0 lead in the playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. So you can look at that. You can look at the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator. Just they need something to change. And I feel like you can't really waste someone like Herbert, like his window. You can't waste that. So something like you said, they have to go get a receiver. Something big has to happen, or else they're just going to continue to be this team that like what could have been kind of thing.
All right, Titans, that is all we have time for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Colin Costigan.
It's been a pleasure. I'm Francisco Molina.
Thank you for watching. I'm Noah Segovia.
And I'm Justin Rosette. Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter if you haven't already at CSUF Titan Sports to keep you updated on all things sports.